All right. I'm betting it's Jim. Already waiting. Trying to keep me on time. It's good. See, it's always good to have a lifting when you're lifting heavy weight, in a small book. All right. So we are at Proverb number 11. And I didn't even really take a look. Oh, looks like we could probably definitely get through 15, very likely. Let's see. Let us begin. Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. False scales are an abomination to the Lord. An honest weight pleases him. When arrogance appears, disgrace follows, but wisdom is with those who are unassuming. The integrity of the upright guides them, the deviousness of the treacherous leads them to ruin. Wealth is of no avail on the day of wrath, but righteousness saves from death. Righteousness of the blameless man smooths his way, but the wicked man is felled by his wickedness. Righteousness of the upright saves them, but the treacherous are trapped by their malice. At death the hopes of a wicked man are doomed, and the ambition of evil men comes to nothing. The righteous man is rescued from trouble, and the wicked man takes his place. The impious man destroys his neighbor through speech, and through their knowledge the righteous are rescued. When the righteous prosper, the city exults. When the wicked perish, there are shouts of joy. The city is built up by the blessing of the upright, but is torn down by the speech of the wicked. He who speaks contemptuously of his fellow man is devoid of sense. A prudent man keeps his peace. A base fellow gives away secrets, but a trustworthy soul keeps a confidence. For want of strategy an army falls, but victories come with much planning. Harm awaits him who stands surety for another. He who spurns pledging shall be secure. A graceful woman obtains honor, ruthless men obtain wealth. A kindly man benefits himself, a cruel man makes trouble for himself. The wicked man earns illusory wages, but he who sows righteousness has a true reward. Righteousness is a prop of life, but to pursue evil leads to death. Men of crooked mind are an abomination to the Lord, but those whose way is blameless please him. Assuredly the evil man will not escape, but the offspring of the righteous will be safe. Like a gold ring in the snout of a pig is a beautiful woman bereft of sense. What the righteous desire can only be good, what the wicked hope for stirs wrath. One man gives generously and ends with more. Another stints on doing the right thing and incurs a loss. A generous person enjoys prosperity. He who satisfies others shall himself be sated. He who withholds grains earns the curses of the people, but blessings are on the head of the one who dispenses it. He who earnestly seeks what is good pursues what is pleasing. He who is bent on evil, upon him it shall come. He who trusts in his wealth shall fall, but the righteous shall flourish like foliage. He who makes trouble for his household shall inherit the wind. A fool is a slave to the wise-hearted. The fruit of the righteous is a tree of life. A wise man captivates people. If the righteous on earth get their deserts, how much more the wicked man and the sinner. Proverbs chapter 12. He who loves discipline loves knowledge. He who spurns reproof is a brutish man. A good man earns the favor of the Lord. A man of intrigues his condemnation. A man cannot be established in wickedness, but the root of the righteous will not be shaken loose. A capable wife is a crown for her husband, but an incompetent one is like rot in his bones. Purposes of the righteous are justice. The schemes of the wicked are deceit. The words of the wicked are a deadly ambush, but the speech of the upright saves them. Overturn the wicked and they are gone, but the house of the righteous will endure. A man is commended according to his intelligence. A twisted mind is held up to contempt. Better to be lightly esteemed and have a servant than to put on airs and have no food. A righteous man knows the needs of his beast, but the compassion of the wicked is cruelty. He who tills his land shall have food in plenty, but he who pursues vanities is devoid of sense. The wicked covet the catch of evil men. The root of the righteous yields fruit. Sinful speech is a trap for the evil man, but the righteous escape from trouble. A man gets his fill of good from the fruit of his speech. One is repaid in kind for one's deeds. The way of a fool is right in his own eyes, but the wise man accepts advice. A fool's vexation is known at once, but a clever man conceals his humiliation. He who testifies faithfully tells the truth, but a false witness deceit. There is blunt talk like sword thrusts, but the speech of the wise is healing. Truthful speech abides forever, a lying tongue for but a moment. Deceit is in the minds of those who plot evil, for those who plan good there is joy. No harm befalls the righteous, but the wicked have their fill of misfortune. Lying speech, there's no CM running around. Lying speech is an abomination to the Lord, but those who act faithfully please him. A clever man conceals what he knows, but the mind of a dullard cries out folly. The hand of the diligent wields authority, the negligent are held in subjection. If there is anxiety in a man's mind, let him quash it, and turn it into joy with a good word. A righteous man gives his friend direction, but the way of the wicked leads astray. A negligent man never has game to roast. A diligent man has precious wealth. The road of righteousness leads to life, but by the way of its path there is no death. Proverbs 13. A wise son, it is through the discipline of his father. A scoffer, he never heard reproof. A man enjoys good from the fruit of his speech, but out of the throat of the treacherous comes lawlessness. He who guards his tongue preserves his life. He who opens wide his lips, it is his ruin. A lazy man craves but has nothing. The diligent shall feast on rich fare. A righteous man hates lies. The wicked man is vile and disgraceful. Righteousness protects him whose way is blameless. Wickedness subverts the sinner. One man pretends to be rich and has nothing. Another professes to be poor and has much wealth. Riches are ransom for a man's life. The poor never heard a reproof. The light of the righteous is radiant. The lamp of the wicked is extinguished. Arrogance yields to less than nothing, but he who gathers little by little increases it. Hope deferred sickens the heart, but desire realized is a tree of life. He who disdains a precept will be injured thereby. He who respects a command will be rewarded. The instruction of a wise man is a fountain of life, enabling one to avoid deadly snares. Good sense wins favor. The way of treacherous men is unchanging. Every clever man acts knowledgeably, but a dullard exposes his stupidity. Harm befalls a wicked messenger. A faithful courier brings healing. Poverty and humiliation are for him who spurns discipline, but he who takes reproof to heart gets honor. Desire realize to turn away from evil is abhorrent to the stupid. He who keeps company with the wise becomes wise, but he who consorts with dullards comes to grief. Misfortune pursues sinners, but the righteous are well rewarded. A good man has what to bequeath to his grandchildren, for the sinners is stored up for the righteous. The tillage of the poor yields much food, but substance is swept away for lack of moderation. He who spares the rod hates his son, but he who loves him disciplines him early. The righteous man eats to his heart's content, but the belly of the wicked is empty. Proverbs 14. The wisest of women builds her house, but folly tears it down with its own hands. He who maintains his integrity fears the Lord. A man of devious ways scorns him. In the mouth of a fool is a rod of haughtiness, but the lips of wise protect him. If there are no oxen, the crib is clean, but a rich harvest comes through the strength of the ox. An honest witness will not lie. A false witness testifies lies. A scoffer seeks wisdom in vain, but knowledge comes easily to the intelligent man. Keep your distance from a dullard, for you will not learn wise speech. It is the wisdom of a clever man to understand his course, but the stupidity of the dullard is delusion. Repatriations mediate between fools, between the upright goodwill. The heart alone knows its bitterness, and no outsider can share its joy. The house of the wicked will be demolished, but the tent of the upright will flourish. A road may seem right to a man, but in the end it is a road to death. The heart may ache even in laughter, and joy may end in grief. An unprincipled man reaps the fruits of his ways, a good man of his deeds. A simple person believing anything, a clever man ponders his course. A wise man is diffident and shuns evil, but a dullard rushes in confidently. An impatient man commits folly. A man of intrigues will be hated. Folly is the lot of the simple, but clever men glory in knowledge. Evil men are brought low before the good, so are the wicked at the gates of the righteous. A pauper is despised even by his peers, but a rich man has many friends. He who despises his fellow is wrong. He shows pity, for the lowly is happy. Surely those who plan evil go astray, while those who plan good earn steadfast love. From all toil there is some gain, but idle chatter is pure loss. The ornament of the wise is their wealth. The stupidity of dullards is stupidity. A truthful witness saves lives. He who testifies lies spreads deceit. Fear of the Lord is a stronghold, a refuge for a man's children. Fear of the Lord is a fountain of life, enabling one to avoid deadly snares. A numerous people is the glory of a king. Without a nation, a ruler is ruined. Patience results in much understanding. Impatience gets folly as its portion. A calm disposition gives bodily health. Passion is wrought to the bones. He who withholds what is due to the poor affronts his maker. He who shows pity for the needy honors him. The wicked man is felled by his own evil. The righteous man finds security in his death. Wisdom rests quietly in the mind of a prudent man, but among dullards it makes itself known. Righteousness exalts a nation. Sin is a reproach to any people. The king favors a capable servant. He rages at an incompetent one. Yeah, definitely number 15. Let's go. A gentle response allays wrath. A harsh word provokes anger. The tongue of the wise produces much knowledge, but the mouth of dullards pours out folly. The eyes of the Lord are everywhere, observing the bad and the good. A healing tongue is a tree of life, but a devious one makes for a broken spirit. A fool spurns the discipline of his father, but one who heeds reproof becomes clever. In the house of the righteous there is much treasure, but in the harvest of the wicked there is trouble. The lips of the wise disseminate knowledge, not so the minds of dullards. The sacrifice of the wicked is an abomination to the Lord, but the prayer of the upright pleases him. The way of the wicked is an abomination to the Lord, but he loves him who pursues righteousness. Discipline seems bad to him who forsakes the way. He who spurns reproof will die. Sheol and Abaddon lie exposed to the Lord. How much more the minds of men? The scoffer dislikes being reproved. He will not resort to the wise. A joyful heart makes a cheerful face. A sad heart makes a despondent mood. The mind of a prudent man seeks knowledge. The mouth of the dullard pursues folly. All the days of a poor man are wretched, but contentment is a feast without end. Better a little with fear of the Lord than great wealth with confusion. Better a meal of vegetables where there is love than a fattened ox where there is hate. A hot-tempered man proves a quarrel, a patient man calms strife. The way of a lazy man is like a hedge of thorns, but the path of the upright is paved. A wise son makes his father happy. A fool of a man humiliates his mother. Folly is joy to one devoid of sense. A prudent man walks a straight path. Plans are foiled for want of counsel, but they succeed only through many advisers. A ready response is a joy to a man, and how good is a word rightly timed. For an intelligent man, the path of life leads upward, in order to avoid Sheol below. The Lord will tear down the house of the proud, but he will establish the homestead of the widow. Evil thoughts are an abomination to the Lord, but pleasant words are pure. He who pursues ill-gotten gains makes trouble for his household. He who spurns gifts will live long. The heart of the righteous man rehearses his answer, but the mouth of the wicked blurts out evil things. The Lord is far from the wicked, but he hears the prayer of the righteous. What brightens the eye gladdens the heart. Good news puts fat on the bones. He whose ear heeds the discipline of life lodges among the wise. He who spurns discipline hates himself. He who heeds reproof gains understanding. The fear of the Lord is the discipline of wisdom. Humility precedes honor. Yeah, I think that's a good one for tonight. And I gotta admit, it's learning when you go to like teaching Bibles. There's all these things, that all this marginalia that's really pretty cool, because you get to find out how in some places there's words that nobody's exactly sure of, because the language is just so old. And then there will be things that they'll mention of kind of alternative reading, that this is often read as. And so there we go. So we'll be back tomorrow, God willing. Apparently, we might just get some rain up here, and that's wonderful. Of course, it's at the cost of a bunch of trees, because the only reason why we have cloud cover is because there's so much haze in the air and smoke. But hey, We get what we can get and get what we can get. So everybody take care out there. I swear, just every single day, I just wake up and I'm looking at the news. I'm like, boy, it's only getting crazier. So, and for just to say, if anybody hits Twitter often, disclose.tv, check them out. They're always ahead on everything. It's a great way of knowing, like, kind of almost, a few hours ahead of time what, like, the big stories are going to be. Disclose.tv is just awesome. But take care, everybody. Have a good night.